Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hello. How are we all today?
We are good.
Yeah?
We are.
We're ready? Feeling funky
We're ready
fresh?
to rock and roll.
Yes.
Let's do
exciting.
this. Let's go straight on
Amazing.
with the show. shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, let's not even mess around.
No.
Let's get in there. It's fashion week.
Oh my god, it is fashion week. We haven't
Yeah.
got time to mess
We
around.
haven't got time to mess around.
Absolutely not.
Got to be moving like Miranda Grace.
Miranda
I
Grace.
don't know who that is. Miranda something else in
Who are you
Devil
trying
Wears
to...
Prada.
Oh.
Meryl Streep. Oh, you mean the assistant?
They're the boss.
The
Oh, the boss.
Miranda.
Meryl Streep. Yeah, Miranda. Oh,
Miranda.
Miranda.
Yeah,
But what was
yeah,
her
yeah.
last
It's
name?
Grace, right?
No.
No,
I
that's
think
you.
it's Grace.
Grace is
That's
mine.
yeah. You're getting everything
Yeah,
mixed
I
up in
think
here.
we're wrong. But if I'm right,
We're gonna check
we're
later.
gonna check later. We'll check
Yeah,
later.
we'll fact check that one.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're
yeah.
moving like Miranda. It's
Go, go, go.
go.
Go. So you've done already one show.
I worked one show, attended a few others, yes.
Hold on a second. We haven't introduced who is with us
We
today.
haven't, but I'm hoping that people know from the title.
Oh, that.
Who she is.
Okay.
But we should probably do a little
Yes.
intro. Yes.
Go for it. Go on. You're
We
good at
have-
intros.
I might let you do it because I don't want to
Alright.
butcher your name.
I practice my introduction.
Okay.
So
Did
whenever
you?
I do,
I
yeah.
love this. Okay.
So whenever I introduce myself, I'm like, hi, my name is Mary Grace. And they'll be like asking, so what do you do? And I'll be saying, hi, so I'm a model, actress, content creator, and digital entrepreneur.
Okay. She
Like
really
that.
practiced that.
I
You
have to
got that
practice that.
done. That was
Like
so
that.
smooth.
Thank you.
That was the smoothest intro, considering we didn't even think to intro. Smoothest intro.
I would not have said that.
What would you
What
have
would you
said?
have
I would have said it's Mary Grace and she's Italian and she's a model.
So it's good that I did it.
Yeah, would have butchered it. You just did it perfectly. That was so good.
See?
Yeah.
Practice.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us, especially on your like crazy, hectic London Fashion Week schedule.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, should we go back to what we were talking about?
What, the Miranda Grace or the fashion week?
No, the Fashion Week stuff. The shows, your attendance, what you've got planned for this week.
Yes, so I walked House of Tammam on, what was it, 2 days ago, yesterday? 2 days ago. It was really cool. It was like ages since I did catwalk. My last catwalk was 2020, literally before the pandemic. Was fun, really fun. I'm gonna have another catwalk show, but it's like as a model on Tuesday. And then yesterday I attended 2 shows. I attended Paul Costello and Noon by Nora. Then I was supposed to attend another one. I was supposed to attend Malam Breton in the evening. But like I had everything ready. I had makeup artist, hairstylist, dress, everything ready. But then I had to attend a fitting for the catwalk on Tuesday. And somehow they ended up doing my hair and my makeup. And I spent the whole night there. So it's like, well,
No.
yeah,
Nightmare.
yeah. So
I find, see, I'm not a big fan of London Fashion Week. I know
me neither.
models love it so much. It's their favourite thing.
Everything is
Yeah.
last minute. I
But
don't understand it.
it's so chaotic. It's so disorganised.
Which I don't understand.
I don't understand that. They've
That
got
is-
like
yeah.
3 months to prepare.
Thank you.
You've got 3 months
Exactly
to
what I
prepare.
say.
That part.
And then they
Yeah.
wait last minute. Like, oh, we got casting next week. What? You had 3 months?
I
Yeah.
received a casting literally at 11 p.m. I was like, 11 p.m.
Yeah,
for the
11
day
p.m.
after. I
Yes.
was like, are you guys
No.
crazy?
Yeah.
What?
That's mental.
It's crazy. I don't know why. They know in advance it's going to be September or February. Just do it a month in advance. Do it in
Jeez.
August. So
Yeah.
we all ready. We all know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
This is it. It's not like it's a different date each year.
No.
Like it comes around
No.
at the same time.
Same days.
Absolutely, yeah.
But even invites as a guest, everything is last minute.
Yeah.
I
Like,
don't
hey, come to
know.
our show tomorrow.
Yeah, and you're like,
What?
sorry, what about something
I'm
else?
still in bed, babe.
Seriously.
Absolutely not.
Honestly.
So I don't get the hype. I get the hype because it's fashion,
To an extent.
fashion week.
To an
It's
extent.
New York to an extent.
To an
It's New
extent.
York. It's
Yeah.
Paris. It's
Milan.
it's Milan, and yeah. So I get it, but I don't get it because it's chaotic
Yeah,
and it's
too
like,
much.
especially if you're a model and you're going to 10 different castings and
No.
maybe get 1 show or get 0 shows. And
Only
it's-
positive thing that I found out just
Mhm.
this year and
Mhm.
all the time that I've been modeling in London, apparently there is, and maybe you're aware of this,
Sure.
there are like these like spaces for models.
Yeah.
Where it's like a break where you can
Yeah,
get
yeah.
massages, apparently
new thing.
skincare. It's a
It's
new thing, right?
Yeah, it came in
Because
this
I
year.
got told that. I got on the
Yeah.
like the poster where it was gonna be. I was like, really? Skincare tips, massages? I was like, where was this when I used
Yeah.
to that?
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
What, like a wellness centre?
Yes,
for
literally.
Yeah,
models?
it's
If there is
hosted by
food,
BFI.
drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
BFI do that. Not
Yeah.
BFI, that's British Film Institute. It's the
I
British
was like,
Fashion Council,
Council, yeah.
BFC. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
wow, God, that's
Um,
come a long way. Not even 5 years ago, I've had friends who've worked backstage.
Can you imagine?
That
That would have been a dream.
That would have been a dream.
Yeah.
God, it's come a long way.
I don't think the friends backstage get it. It's just the models.
Just more.
No, I know that part, but like they told me how things are. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's
It is.
crazy. Like girls getting changed all together.
Straight away.
Straight
Yeah.
away to
Go.
catwalk.
Go.
Yeah. Go.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
No.
Like I think it's one of the main issues with the industry in general is that models are perceived as hangers,
It's true.
and that hasn't changed. You know, people still say we have like plus size models, curve models.
To an extent.
To an extent.
To an extent.
Everything's to an extent.
Everything to an
Yeah.
extent.
We have this, we have that with diversity, but actually it's still models or hangers. Put your clothes on, do the catwalk, get off, go home,
And that's it. Yeah,
and then we'll
literally.
pay you soon. Maybe.
It's true. Maybe
To
if
an
you're lucky.
extent. We'll pay
if
to
you're
an
lucky. Especially in London.
Especially in
Especially in London.
God
Let's talk
damn.
about it. Let's talk about it.
Damn, you've put
Oh.
London on blast.
But it's true.
I
It's true.
can't deny it. I can't deny it. It's
Like I think, truthfully, I believe things need to change, like under many aspects.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I blame the industry itself because of course the designer is gonna have demands, but if all the models were like nobody's gonna model for you, what do you think the designer is gonna do? Be without models?
yes.
They'd be like, you know what? Okay, let me change the standards. Let me actually do this for you.
So when I first started Bain, there's a company called Equity.
Okay.
Do you know about Equity?
No.
Okay, so Equity is for
Oh,
film
yeah.
actors. Yeah, so
The
one of the
Equity
first things
Model,
I
okay,
did,
okay.
was literally one of the first things I did, like in the first couple of weeks of Bain,
Okay.
was I spoke to Equity and I said, hey guys, listen, there needs to be equity for models and you guys need to sort that out.
Okay.
And
Appreciate
I had a
that.
meeting with them and they were like, yeah, sure, but there's equity for models already, so they can just come and they can sign up and they can do equity already. But
Right.
and I said, but that's not, no one knows about this. And
Very
it needs to be, it's not like film where people train and then they go to more acting classes and then they go to more acting classes and they
Yeah.
go to auditions and it's modeling's more like I'll wake up in the morning, take a selfie, I'm a model now.
Yeah.
So there's no like clear defined line
Like
to get to a
space.
model.
True.
So the industry in a sense is very unregulated,
I agree.
extremely unregulated.
I
Like you
agree.
may have like one fashion show paying 600, the other one paying 100.
Yeah.
Like, and there's no like,
Yeah.
how does that work? Like, what's the difference between those two shows? That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Whereas in the acting industry, because of equity, because there's a minimum.
It's the same for everybody.
Yeah,
It starts from
exactly.
there,
Yeah.
Exactly, they have
As
like
it should be.
clear defined lines. Like, this is the minimum, this is the maximum,
yeah.
this is what you have to pay someone.
As
These
a
are the
bare minimum.
hours you're allowed to work. If you work beyond that, they can complain. With modelling,
As it should be.
there's no regulation
No, not
whatsoever.
at all.
So I've spoken to British Fashion Council about this, spoken to Equity about this, and they say we're going to do this, we're going to do that, but they don't do anything.
For me, the biggest one, I'm not gonna say the name, but there is a big brand actually
Mhm.
that's gonna do the catwalk in London.
Okay.
That I received a casting that was like I don't know last year,
Mhm.
I think, or the year before.
Mhm.
They offered £300 for the model, and I was like, no, this is impossible. And I'll tell you the brand after. I was shocked. I was like, I'm not going. I was like, I'm not going. I don't even care. I was like, I'm not going to the show to get paid this by this
Yes.
brand. I was like, this
Yeah.
is just insane on different levels.
It's because
I understand if it's a small brand starting out, first fashion show,
Mhm.
I might be generous. I might even do it as well.
Mhm.
Sure.
Mhm.
But I was like, from them, I
Mhm.
was like, absolutely not.
It's a drop in the pond.
Especially about all the money that they make.
Yes.
I was like, no, that's
Yes.
crazy.
And it's
I was
crazy
like,
to think
absolutely
that
not.
Crazy.
they're gonna. I don't want to use the word exploit. That's a very
But basically,
word,
but
It's a
Yeah.
provocative
Yeah.
word, but I mean,
it is
Pocket
exploitation
like,
too.
yeah.
If you're making millions, if you're a small brand, like you said,
Exactly. I understand it, sure.
yeah, but even
but-
they pay £300. So why is, let's just say Nike. I'm not saying it is Nike.
It's
but
like a
if
really
it
high
was-
fashion.
If it's a big fashion brand like Nike, I'm not saying it's Nike. Don't
Yeah.
say Nike. If they're paying £300, that's
It's
disgraceful.
crazy.
That's
It's
disgraceful.
crazy. When I saw it, I was like, maybe you mistyped. I actually ran my. I
Are you
remember.
missing some zeros?
I remember I ran my agent and I was like, did you miss a zero or something? I was like, did you misclick or something? But truthfully, I swear, I was at the gym as well when I received it. I was literally doing the tread. I called him and I was like, did you mistype or something? And he was like, no, this is the fit. I was like, no, seriously. I was like, still messing with me. Like, what? And he's like, no, yeah, this is what they're giving out. I was like, yeah, well then I'm not going.
It won't be
Not
part-
only this is last minute. I was like, it's not even paid. I was like, I'm not going. Don't count me in.
Don't call me.
Don't call me. I'm sorry.
Block this number.
No, seriously. So yeah,
Oh,
no.
wow.
Sometimes Fashion Week, most of the time, not sometimes. it's a trip.
Since I've been doing it, it's always been like girls, mainly girls, but also guys, are like, wow, it's Fashion Week, oh, excited. When am I going to do Fashion Week? I want to do a casting. I'm like...
But
like,
you know, I feel like it's like a 50-50. There is one part who doesn't really care, whether it's models, design, like they just don't care. They don't have any interest. They don't put any effort. They don't care. And the other part will do anything to be in it. So they will do it for free. They will work literally 24 hours. They will do anything. There must be like a balance in all of this.
This is the problem. This is why there's no set base of pay.
Exactly.
Because models will do stuff for free or do
Yeah.
it for really cheap, which I don't blame them because they just want to make it.
For
And it's
one
exposure.
And it's exposure and it's blah blah blah.
Exciting, and
So
it's
I
all
don't-
packaged up in like the glitz and the glamour.
And if you're like a really new model but you look great and you're like, I'll do it for free, then that
But
everyone
I
else's
think-
price goes down.
But I think it's also a thing of like knowing there is a lack of like business in this. And I think models should have a basic, I mean, artists in general, whether it's actors, models, musicians, whatever that is. There
It's
is a
mainly
big
models.
power balance like that is missing between having talent and the business side. So everybody's like, you know, I don't know how to price myself. If I have this opportunity, I should do it. No, you should get paid for your work. Do you do a good job? Good. You don't, go practice. And then you get paid for what you're supposed to get paid.
Yeah, it should be like that. It should be like it's like that with every other art. Whether you're an artist,
Oh, but depends.
A
Oh no,
producer?
depends. Depends.
Yeah, I
The
think-
stories I heard,
Yeah.
but trust me,
Oh, okay.
depends. No,
Okay.
it's like the creative industry
do you think
itself.
it's the creative industry in
Yeah,
general?
I definitely agree with that. I've
Yeah?
seen in my time like different shoots, different roles within shoots as well,
They do it for
being
free.
exploited because they're willing to
Oh,
do
do you
it
mean
for
within
free.
the fashion industry, or do you mean
No, generally.
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 Within the creative
Okay.
industries for
interesting?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it's a shame because people are willing to break their back just to get a little bit of exposure, to have their
Exactly.
name heard in these specific
Yeah.
spaces. And that's all well and good, but I just don't understand this idea of not paying people to do what they're doing
I
and
agree.
paying them reasonably.
I agree.
Yeah, it is a combination of both sides though. It is a combination of new people in the industry who look good, who are going to be good models one day, doing stuff for very low pay, which allows companies to exploit.
Oh yeah,
that.
funny enough, even in content
Yeah.
creations, there are many content creators that have like, I don't know, 50K, 20K, which might have even higher engagement than the ones that have like a million or
Yeah.
whatever, and they will do it for £50. Like, we'll do a video for £50, gifting them literally 1 million views. So all us creators that have bigger numbers,
Yeah.
when the brand comes on, it's like,
It's
oh,
cheap.
we will gift you the clothes for free next year. Like, you can keep it. I'm gonna go to Primark and I'm gonna buy it myself.
No, you can keep
You can keep it. No, it's crazy. And we've been talking about it at these like events with other content creators. We're like, you know, because of the smaller creators who do not know how the industry works, they do not know how to negotiate and price themselves, then it's on us. Because they're like, well, why would I pay you as one creator, I don't know, 5K, 4K, whatever the amount might be that you're charging, when I can get 10 creators for £50?
So then it comes down to this idea of this equity company. So can you tell us a little bit more about that for people who don't know what that is and
I
how
can
it
do.
works?
So equity is a governing body for actors. It's a union.
Right,
It's a union
okay.
for actors. So right now in America they've got
Yeah, it's
SAG.
most known. Yeah, SAG.
So SAG is the equivalent
That's
of equity. So SAG set a minimum basis, not a maximum so much, but definitely a minimum basis for what actors can and cannot do. So if you're part of SAG, that means you're part of a union, which means you're protected.
Yeah.
Which also means that people in the film industry and TV industry and commercials as well are protected by this union. So you can't say to an actor, I'm going to pay you £50 an hour. Sorry, £50 for a whole day's work, because they'll go to their union and they'll complain, and then that company will be in trouble. Whereas in this country, equity does the same thing, but on a very lower level, because not every actor is part of equity. It's a much different thing. There's not
Completely.
and
They
then
really care in America.
they really care. It's a very, because America, I think, it's a very different country. It's
Completely.
like
They won't even
unions-
cast you if you're not part of SAG.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. yes.
But like the first thing they ask you, are you on SAG?
Yeah, a SAG member. Yeah.
Really? And that's pure, is that to cover themselves? Should anything go wrong?
No, it's just like, it's one of those things where, okay, so in England with acting especially, it's a very old school mentality. So you have Spotlight, which has been done for years, and you can be part of Spotlight, and then you're seen as like
that's
exclusive.
your like SAG thing. Yeah.
Whereas in America, you're part of. They haven't really got a Spotlight. They got backstage, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
You need to be part of the union.
Yeah. So they have a proper union. So what we don't have in the industry, in the modelling industry, is a similar thing. And even though equity say they have equity for models, do you know about this? Who knows about this?
I didn't even know this was a thing either.
It is a thing.
I just know it for acting.
Yeah, it's just for acting.
Not for modeling.
Yeah.
Never heard it for modeling.
Yeah.
What is that?
I'm not sure what. Yeah. What is that?
What is that?
Like, why would you have equity for? It doesn't make sense. So there needs to be a new union.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it's part of equity, but they need to rename it and appeal to more models. Because what's happening right now, and it happens across the world, to be honest with you. Like you've got photographers, makeup artists, exploiting that.
Everybody works for free.
Everybody
works for free.
It's what you get told when you first break into the industry. That I remember being told by people very close to me to just, take the free jobs, do all the free work, get the legwork, get your name out of there. And to an extent, sure, that can work in your favour. But then it gets to a point where you are talented in what you do, you have the experience. When do you stop?
Yeah.
What point?
Yeah. And sometimes that's way out of your control as well, because people know you to be very flexible in that way.
Yeah.
But even if they don't know you, they'll be like, oh, but I have all of them that are working on TFP. TFP means trade for print.
Yes.
So just in case whoever doesn't know. But so everybody's like, everybody's doing it for free. Why should I get you and pay you then?
Yeah.
When I can get someone else working for free. So it needs to change.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. The people that can change it won't change it because they don't care.
Of course.
So
because they're not directly affected.
They're not directly affected by it, and they just don't care. Like the British Fashion Council and Equity as well, they can change this. They can easily change it. They can put rules and stipulations in place, but they don't care. Even back in 2015 or something, what happened was a lot of model agencies, the big model agencies, I think the top 5 model agencies or 3, they actually started fixing prices. So they collaborate with each other to fix prices. So they would say to one company, this is the price, and then another company would go, this is the price, and they push the prices up, but then take commission for themselves.
I see.
And they got in trouble for that. Those model agencies, they were slapped on the wrist. So the whole industry, from agencies to production companies to, it needs to be gutted out.
It really
and started again. And it's like what the Joker says in Dark Knight. I don't know if you guys seen Dark Knight.
What a great reference.
Yeah, he says if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
True.
There you have it, kids.
Don't do it for free.
But funny enough, for experience, whenever I said no, they then came back to me with a higher budget.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Models, actors, whoever is in the creative industry, content creation, musicians, whoever it is, they believe that if they miss the opportunity, that's it, your career is over. But it doesn't work like that. Actually, stand for, if you know you're good, don't have your ego too high, but if you know you have something good on your plate, you know what you bring to the table, keep it. Be like, you know what, no, unless you do for this fee, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I had so many times brands coming up like 4 months later, be like, oh, hi, Mary Grace, so is this again what you're charging? I'm like, no, actually, it increased. My engagement increased, my followers increased, this happened, it is what it is now, and they pay.
That's incredible. It's kind of, because going back to this whole working for free and being told to work for free is good, your self-esteem does take a hit.
Of course.
So like you, when you know you're good at what you do and you know you have value to give these brands and be able to price point that for yourself, I think that's the turning point, no?
100%.
So when did you get to that turning point? Because what your journey as a model, from where you started to where you are now, did you ever experience having to do things for free and then you realised your engagement, like you said, your engagement increased, your following increased? What was the turning point for you where you were like, actually, no, this is my rate, this is what I'm going to charge, this is my value, this is what I can bring to the table? So
for me, experience. I never had anybody teaching me or telling me anything. I never knew anybody in London. I never had anybody to be like, there is this. I always had to find out everything for myself.
Okay.
So I have a lot of experience. I had to work for free many times. And at a certain point, there were many things that I didn't know. For example, usage rights. I didn't know you could charge for that too. I had to learn that.
Okay.
But the moment I understood it, I was like, wait a second. Also, I have a degree in business, in marketing.
Wow.
And
okay.
yeah, so once I understood how the business side worked, I was like, let me stop you right there. So for example, there was this, do you know Makeba, the song that has been going crazy viral? Yeah, I made it go crazy viral on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. It got 10 millions for every video everywhere, on every platform.
Wow.
So the guy who remixed it, which is signed with Sony, texted me and said, hey, Mary Grace, Sony really loves your videos, obviously because they were going viral. Could we promote your video? And I was like, yeah, if they have a budget. What's the budget? And he was like, oh, they're doing it for free just to promote the video. I was like, sorry, whenever they come with a budget, then we can talk again. But usage rights. So it's Sony. Like, hello, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like
Come on.
whatever that is. But, you know,
Yeah.
so it's about learning the business side of things.
Okay.
And that's what I believe everybody in the creative industry should do, so they don't get exploited. To get, for example, in the topic of the modeling industry, which for me was just crazy. I have this friend who is a crazy good model. He is signed with a model agency in London. We were talking and he was like, oh, you know, I got this amazing catwalk job for advertising campaign for Gucci in Milan. I was like, oh, that's so cool. How was it? He was like, well, yeah, I got signed in Milan. My model agency signed me. But I got like 3K out of 15, 17. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, how is that possible? I was like, yeah, because they get 50%. I was like, I'm sorry.
The fees are crazy.
I was like, and your agent, your model agent did not negotiate for you? I was
This
like,
wasn't his mother agent?
no, the model agent gets also 5 or 10% out of it. I was like, so what do you get out of it? You get 30%? I was like, what? And he didn't know. And I was like, you should always negotiate, always, especially in Italy. I was like, are you out of your mind? But it wasn't up to you. It was supposed to be your mother agent to be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then negotiate with the agency in Italy for you to be like, Paul, where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Other thing that for me is crazy is how in London model agencies get 10% or 5% or 15 sometimes, again, crazy to me, out of the money that come to the model, not even from the agency itself. That's why I never had a model agency. I was like, I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. In New York, for example, they don't do that, which I appreciate.
They don't take agency fee?
They do it from the other agency. So for example, I'm a model agent. You tell me how your experience is with this as well. But from what I'm aware of, models who have been telling around and the people I talk to, they take the fee from the agent itself.
So what happened during COVID was there was a bunch of mother agencies that's popped up all of a sudden.
I see.
Prior to that, there was always mother agencies.
Yeah.
But during COVID, loads started coming up. So what happened was that there's a lot of mother agents who are, well, a lot of them are gone now because they didn't survive. But what they do, I'm not a big fan of mother agencies at all. I try not to work with them.
For the listeners, can you just quickly whistle stop what
a mother agency typically is normally just one person and he's like a manager for a model and he has a bunch of models and he will ship them out to different agencies across Europe and he'll take, they will take commission both from the model but also, and this is going to correct you on, also from the agency.
Also they take what? Yeah, no. It's just,
so they take both.
It's on different levels.
They take both and they sit at home probably and grabbing money. It's clever. But I personally, I don't like working with them. So with this agency, we maybe work with one mother agency in Holland, but they're an agency. So
like an actual agency.
Yeah, they're not a man in a room or a woman in a room going, I've got loads of models for you, and here you go. Yeah. So I'm not a big fan. I don't understand what they're doing. I think I don't want to criticize them too much. I'm sure there's very good mother agencies out there.
Sure.
But at the same time, I could do that. I could sit in my
anybody could do that.
Anybody could do that. And again, it's fine if you're doing it and you're doing it properly. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I'm just feeling like models are being exploited left, right, and centre. There's some agencies as well who would charge a company agency fee, so they'll charge 20% more on the original fee, and they'll keep the agency fee for themselves, which is illegal. It's called double dipping.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like double dipping is a term that means you've taken from the company and you've taken from the model as well.
No,
you're not allowed legally. You're not allowed to do that. You have to give some of the 20% that you've taken from the company as an agency fee to the model as well. So,
really?
Yeah. So
so that's not kept for the agent.
That is not kept for the agent. So we always give it to the model as well.
Okay.
But it's illegal to take it from the model and take it from the production company. You can't charge an agency fee and take it.
Yeah, of course.
It's double dipping, which is effectively what other agents are doing.
Yeah.
They're double dipping from the agency and from the model as well.
Right.
Which I don't know if that's illegal, but it sounds damn illegal to me.
That doesn't sound right for sure.
Doesn't sound right.
That's why I really
unethical at least.
learn business, guys. Please, the basics, please.
Yeah.
Like go work in an office in an agency. I don't know, do like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, just to understand what comes through from clients, how it works, and then go model, represent yourself.
The problem is, what happens is, it's normally, I'm going to say girls. Normally, what happens is they want to be models.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, they do loads of shoots for free, like you said. They're like, okay, this is really working out. People like me. People want to do TFP shoots with me, which is wonderful. And then they get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm tired of TFP shoots. I want to now do some paid stuff. So they start doing low paid stuff. And they're like, okay, this is working out for me. And they try and join an agency. And then they join an agency, maybe a bad agency, maybe a good agency. And then they start taking money from. And they kind of just, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind. It's like bang, 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 bang. It's being shoved from left to right. So they don't think of themselves as a business because they can't think of themselves as a business because they think to themselves, oh, but I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're the asset.
Yeah.
You're the thing. You're the thing that's making the industry turn. If you were a product, you'd be Coke. You are keeping everything together.
Agree.
Without you, the industry cannot function. Well, maybe now with AI it can, but
that's different. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
But I think people will always want to feel like they're working with a model. So I think models will never go out of fashion. If you think of, like you said, think of yourself as a business, you cannot go wrong. Think yourself, hold your ground and go, this is my minimum fee. These are my minimum hours or maximum hours. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what you've done with yourself. You branded yourself into a business, and it's worked out really nicely. And I think all models should brand themselves into businesses.
I mean, I stand for getting experience, do a few shots for free, 100%. Learn. If you've never done it, why not? You want to maybe improve your portfolio, sure, but to an extent. Everything is to an extent.
Yeah.
So after that, once you're like, okay, you know what, I want to work for, I don't know, Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Then sit down and be like, okay, how can I get to Nike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely. Yeah. Have a game plan. Funny enough,
I really, really want to model for either Hugo Boss or Mugler.
I'm sure you will.
I hope so. I was talking with a friend, and he was like, well, it's you. You're Mary Grace. Why are you not doing it? And I was like, well, it's not that easy. It's Mugler and Hugo Boss. And he was like, yeah, but you're really creative. Why don't you go in their offices? I was like, you actually made a really good point. So after Fashion Week, I'm going to sit down in Mugler's office with a bunch of donuts until the creative director comes out and be like, hi, my name is Maria Grace. And even if they don't pick me, I'm going to be the girl, the model, be like, you know what happened to me so weird? This random girl popped in the office because she wanted to model for us. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Maybe one day they see one, or maybe they'll be like, oh my God, I remember this. Or this is the crazy girl that popped in the office. What does she do? Let me check her out. Who's the agent? That's how you create opportunities for yourself.
Yes. Make yourself heard. Make yourself known.
So if you guys see the offices.
Episode before our last episode was with Aziz.
Yes.
He had a goal of being in Gangs of London, a TV show.
Oh, I think I saw the really
exactly. So he manifested that.
Love that.
And it happened. And there's a girl over here, which we're going to get a video of after. She came from Belgium. She came all the way from Belgium. She came to this office and she was like, I want to be in Vogue. And I was like, that's crazy, but let's give it a try. And that picture is from Vogue. She did Vogue.
That's an incredible photo.
It's an incredible photo. So she had a lot of things going against her. She's from Belgium. She doesn't even live in London. She came here just to meet us. And she's a hijabi model as well. It's like, I want to be in Vogue. And it happened.
She did it.
Yeah. So you sitting here saying, I want to, saying it, just verbally saying it, will make it happen. Or will get you closer to the goal at least. So business, think of yourself as business. If you're a business, you need to have a business plan.
That's my point.
Yeah. And what is your goal? what's your target for year one? What's your target for year two?
Yeah, get that Q1, Q2
Make a
goals
plan.
Yes,
in
exactly.
Make a plan
exactly.
how you want to get there.
Yes, and yeah, a lot of models don't do that. They just think, oh, it's lovely. I get to go to shows, and I get to
Yeah.
Fashion Week, and I get to get paid
Yeah.
every now and again. It's if you think of yourself as
As a
a
business.
company, as a business with employees that you need to pay,
Exactly.
then you will change your mindset wholly. Totally.
That's such a great. I've never really heard of, especially in the modeling industry. It's very fluid, isn't it? So you never really think of these concrete steps, these
Yeah.
like business plans, thinking of yourself as a business.
Yes.
You know, taking the steps to market yourself in that way is really eye-opening for someone who hasn't really been immersed in that. Just to
Yeah.
see you guys talking about it in this way, because we've spoken to models, and this isn't me saying that they don't necessarily think in this way, but this side of modeling has never really been verbalized on Sensational, and I think it's so important for people to hear it.
Oh yeah, but you guys, I keep saying, they need to understand. That's what I say in my videos. You need to understand the industry, how it works
Yeah.
from the behind the scenes, not just the glamorous part. Oh my God, I went to Paris. I did. Who cares? Today you're here, tomorrow you might not. think about future. How does that work? How does that affect you? Funny enough. Crazy. Actually, I'm not gonna jinx it, but I'm gonna tell you after.
Okay.
But I created an opportunity for next February for a really good brand, which I became friends with the designer at Fashion Week. Why? Because I think how he will think. So if you put yourself in a designer's shoes, but leave out movies, don't watch movies, go practice in real life. You know, be an intern for a day, whatever. You know, understand how it works. Why would, which I learned as well on my own, why would a designer want that? Funny enough, I learned in the past 2 days, I had a few castings, I booked 2 shows, I did it on purpose to understand this from the designer point of view. I had 2 types of walk. First one was like 90s style, so really like, you know, bouncing hair, moving hips, turn, back, 3 steps, pose, and I didn't get the job. 0. The girl next to me, never had experience, did a walk that was like average, picked straight away. And I was like, you know, happy for her because she deserves, like, I'm in a good position, I'm happy for her. But I was like, okay. And then I did all the casting, I did normal walk. Like, you couldn't even call that a walk, booked. And I was like, how come? Really easy. Would you know why?
No way.
As a designer, do you want the attention to be on the model or the clothes?
Wow.
And I had this idea, but I wanted to test it out. And I got my response.
Look at you getting experimental in the casting.
I do, of course I do, yeah, because I want to understand. So next
that's so
next
clever.
season, whenever I'm gonna go, I'm gonna have all of them classic walk. But at least now I know.
Yeah.
And there are certain things for certain things. So
That's such an insightful tip. Because you immediately, when you think of catwalk, when I've spoken to models who walk and they talk about the importance of your walk and, you know, making yourself, the way that you walk, you can change it depending on the show, like you said, 90s, the 3-step. Like, that's crazy.
unless you get told from the beginning, like we want a really strong, powerful walk, then okay, that's a different story. But if nobody says anything and you go to an open casting and you do it,
Yeah.
you won't get picked.
Well, damn.
So, okay, so the advice you're giving is wonderful. But how did you get from nowhere
Mm-hmm.
to somewhere? And by that, what I mean is people looking at you, other girls and guys looking at you, will be thinking she's really strong in her mindset and she's really good in terms of business set as well. How did you get to that point?
So first of all, I hate the fact that there is this like misconception that good-looking girls are stupid. It really pisses me off. So I've always been a nerd in school. Funny enough, you wouldn't say, but I have been. So whenever I was in this industry, because I had experience in Milan, I thought London was going to be the same. So I was like, there's no hope for me to be a model in London because they're really strict. You have to be, which now I'm signed in Milan, funny enough. But again, before I wasn't. And when I started, I had this like plan, like you said. I saw myself as a product. You are a product. Whether you like it or not, everything is business in life. I don't remember who mentions it. There is a big movie, somebody mentions it, and it's like, everything is business.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you understand that, that's how things start to switch. And I saw myself as a product. I was like, okay, as an agent, for example, my first goal was getting signed with an agency. So as an agent, why would I sign myself first I had the, I'm shorter, I'm 5'5", compared to the classic 5'9", 5'10". That's like, it's easier for them to get in. I was like, okay, so I already have a back step. That means I need to make that my strength and not my weakness. That was my first thought. Second, I was like, I need to, if I were to sign myself, I need to see myself as a tool to make money, because that's what I care about, right? So how am I going to do that? And I said, okay, what do you like doing, Mary Grace? Because for me, also one big thing personally that I suggest to anybody is like, if you do something that you don't like, don't do it. Do something that you're passionate about and make it your career. And see it as your career as well. So for me, I really, really loved editorial. I really love editorials. And commercials, I think they're really fun. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, let me get more into the editorial. I started doing crazy poses. And I showed that even if I'm shorter, I can still look or even better than the classic model 5 to 10 when I pose.
Right.
So I started doing that. And then I got signed. And yeah, it's the small things that you understand from how you're perceived and what they will want. So whenever you give a self-tape, for example, you need to be in the mind of the casting director. Obviously, it's not always the case. It might be from how they wake up, but there is a general rule of what they might be looking for. So for example, I had recently a casting that was a beverage company, and I went on the website, on the Instagram. I was like, okay, let me see what they normally shoot. So if you see that all the models are like this, drinking and looking away, then you might want to do that in your self-tape. Maybe you don't want to do it exactly the same. You want to have your own twist, sure, but make sure that you include that. So I will say, yeah, I always had a plan on how to move myself forward, but you need to look at yourself as a product.
So you're approaching the industry from
a business perspective.
Yeah, but not even that. You're approaching most girls and guys and most people approach the industry from the mindset of I need to be pretty, I need to go to the gym, I need to do this, I need to do that. But you're going the opposite way in. You're going, I need to approach it with my mind. My mind is my strongest muscle. I need to use that and get myself through the door.
It is.
I have the looks, great.
Exactly. But obviously, you need to maintain it and everything else. Sure, that's a different story. But yeah. But
then I think a lot of people just use that as the only goal, which is going to the gym, doing more pictures.
But nowadays, who cares?
No one cares.
How many Instagram models become models? How many people do you see because they have followers, they're on runway and they don't know how to walk and how to model? I see that sometimes and I'm like, why am I not there? I ask me, and this bothers me, and I'm like, you need to work more. You have to get there, It inspires me. I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. But why? For the business, it's good for views.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely.
Views, they know, for example, if it's an influencer, they have followers, double views, double sales, happy days. Who cares if they don't know how to post? Mm-hmm. Do you care as an owner of a company? You don't. You're like, I want sales.
You're looking at the numbers.
Bring me the sales report at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. No, that's so interesting because from this business perspective, they're looking at the numbers. So why shouldn't you?
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, it's so
absolutely.
True.
Like you said, everything's business, right?
Everything's business.
So they're looking. They're not. See, the thing is, a lot of people when they go to castings take it personally.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
No,
it's business.
No,
it's always business.
Straight up business.
Always. Sometimes it might be the face. Sometimes I don't know. They decide that today they want everybody with brown eyes.
Yeah.
You have blue eyes. Whatever.
They cast people based on their sales report. So they're like, blue eyes are now in trend. We need to get some blue eyes. Black models are now in trend. Like during BLM in 2020.
Of course.
Yes,
we had so many calls. We need a dark skin model. We need a dark skin model.
We're pushing for diversity in the campaign. My God, the amount of times I've read that.
A documentary about you guys. It's like,
of course.
You guys are just exploiting what's now popular.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what brands do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Business.
So I'm really curious as to where this came. Was this something that you created off of your own back of your mind, or was this sort of business framed mindset from someone around you? Did someone inspire you?
No, I never had anybody. I learned everything on my own.
Wow, that's so inspiring.
Parents do though?
My mom is at home; she doesn't work, and my dad works for the council in Manchester.
Oh,
but nothing to do with the industry.
Wow. Because we've talked to so many people who have had sort of a pivotal person or a pivotal situation in their life that has turn them around to think the way that they think and do what they do. And I think it's quite unique to you that you haven't necessarily had that, if that's what you're saying. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But there's always, in every film, there's always a character where they just have that mindset. They're born with that mindset. And I think I'm very much a fan of the question, nature or nurture.
Okay.
And I think you were just born with that mentality to just succeed.
I don't know. I've always had this like stubbornness of doing what I wanted to do. Like no matter what, I will put myself until I achieve that goal. That's has always been me. Especially if somebody says you cannot do it, I'm like, watch me.
Take a seat.
Yeah, and then they call me back. You're like, oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I've always had that. But I think in this industry, I had to learn the hard way, like on experiences, one thing after another. Like one thing you need to understand is you're replaceable. I'm sorry, this is how it works. Like, don't take it personal. This is the industry. You go to a casting, you do a self-tape for acting. That's your job, literally. You don't. And I take this, whenever somebody asks me this, I always take the waiter example. So you're a waiter, right? You serve drinks, whatever. You go to the table, you serve the drink to the customer. Do you expect the tip? No, that's your job. You left it there, cool. Now you go back to the kitchen and you do what you have to do. If they give you the tip, happy days for everybody. You got the tip for the night. But that's not your job. Your job is to deliver the drink, and that's what you do as an artist. You deliver the self-tape, you deliver the casting, wherever that may be. That's it. Don't go there with, you do what you have to do and you leave.
Yeah.
So, but regarding your question about my mindset, I think like I had a lot of like rejection. I had a lot of people telling me, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna do that. I recently had somebody say that I should change my accent. I should get an American accent and be like everybody else. And that's more on the business aspect. And I was like, well, funny enough, he's like a really popular social media guy and a millionaire in business. And he was like, you should really change your accent because everybody like has this like American accent and that's good for money and good for the business.
How do you change your accent? How does one change their accent?
Practice, I don't know. But I was like, actually, this is what makes me unique. Makes me so different from everybody else. I was like, I'm good, You think what you want, but I'm good.
That's weird.
So, yeah, anyway, I got told many things.
Okay.
Moral of the story, keep going.
Keep going. And you model from a young age, right? You model from a very young age.
5.
Since you were 5.
Wow. I stopped around 13 in Milan, and then never thought I was going to go back into modeling, but here we are.
What pushed you to go back to modeling if you had that break between 13 and
Funny enough, I came to London at 18 to do university to study marketing, and I was doing this I participated in this like dinner for a company that was hiring like interns, nothing to do with models, but there were all these pretty girls and one of them was a model. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, I used to do it when I was a kid, so how is it in London? And she was like, oh, actually you should get into it. And I was like, I don't know, I'm 5'5", like truthfully speaking, I think I'm not gonna make it. And then she was like, oh, actually, why don't you go on Facebook groups? And there are many casting calls. Like, see, I think you will do really well. I was like, I don't know. I read them at the time I was going through a bad breakup. So I was like scrolling bad on this Facebook. And there was this girl that was doing a photography course. And she was doing a shoot in Hyde Park, in the middle of Hyde Park. And I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's do it. So I sent her a message. I'm like, hey, I need pictures for Instagram, but like again, for personal development. And I was like, if you need a model, I'd love to like help you out. And we did this shoot in the middle of Hyde Park. Everybody was staring. So that was my first and it came out like really Vogue style, the shoot.
Okay.
And at the time, I remember I was like, oh my God, I still love being in front of the camera the same way I used to when I was a kid. I was like, this is funny. I never knew that. I said, should I start again? As a hobby though. Like for me, I like doing what I do. Like it doesn't feel heavy. Like I don't wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my God, I need to do a self-tape. Oh my God, I need to do that. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I need to do that. I said, that's so cool, let's do it. So I was like, I should do it again. I should do it again as a hobby. I mean, I didn't have anything to lose. I was still doing uni, minding my business, whatever. And I did the shoot. I uploaded the pictures on my Instagram that were really like Vogue style. And I got a brand from London messaging me. Somehow they found the pictures. And again, I had like 2K on Instagram. I didn't do social media, I didn't do anything. And I was 18, almost 19. And they were like, oh, we have this shoot. Would you like to model? And it was paid. I was like, okay, sure, let's do it. So I did it, and then I was like, okay, maybe this is taking a different leap than what I thought. Then there was February. February is obviously Fashion Week, and all these girls that told me about these opportunities, they were like, normally it's all Fashion Week unless you're son, you're not gonna do any catwalk, and also if you're short, so you're not gonna do it. They were like, but there is this promotional modeling. Guys, never do promotional modeling. Let me tell you from someone who did it for a day, never again. But they were like, it's a good way to earn extra cash.
Okay, talk us through what that is, just really quickly.
Really quickly is basically you wearing clothes from the brand and giving out flyers or goodie bags and saying hi and representing the brand. That's promotional modeling.
Right.
And there is basically this big event in London that is like called Pure London, where there are all these like small brand shops. It was there where I did it, and it was paid £100 a day. Again, I was doing uni, I was doing my like small side jobs, so I was like, sure, why not extra bucks? And also I learned in the experience. And I remember I was seeing all these like models doing these catwalks, and I was like, I also want to get there. I was like, why am I standing here in this shop and I am not there? And I had a horrible experience because I got fired that day.
From the promotional modeling gig?
Yes.
How'd you do that?
Because
First.
it was crazy
Well
for
done.
me. Yeah. Because they didn't put me as a model. They put me as a marketing assistant. So I was taking orders. It's a funny story. But yeah, I remember at the time, there was this basically call. They were like, you should come 8 a.m., blah, 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 blah. So I show up there, they give me this training. So I go to the boss and I'm like, hey, how come the other two models are in the front giving out flyers, doing promotional model, and I'm at the back taking orders from the customers? And they were like, you're gonna turn. It's like, it's a 3 days event, so tomorrow you're gonna switch. I was like, okay, cool. And in my head, I was like, you see, because I see it like in the long term, I was like, it's experience from marketing. I'm taking a marketing degree, so that's still experience that it can go on my resume. It is on my resume, even if I didn't get paid. But anyway, so I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do that. And then these two girls, one of them knew the owner, so she got in because she knew the owner. Okay. The other one is my friend, and she knows this. I'm really blunt about this. She used to go to the bathroom, disappear for 3 hours, and then come back. So I was the only one working in this place, doing these orders. And I'm really professional when I'm work. So you don't see me on my phone. You don't see me doing anything. Like I'm in there. Mm-hmm. I really care about it. So I do everything. It's like 6 p.m. It's about to close. 6:30 will like end it. But everybody was starting to like pack things up. So I finally sit down. I'm like, it's finally over. The manager comes to me and she's like, I got told that you didn't work the whole day. Well, just know that we don't accept this here. I was like, I'm sorry.
Wait, say that again, sorry. What?
She said, I got told that you did not work the whole day. I was like, maybe you confused me with someone else. I was like, but hey, there's the list of all the orders that I took. I had to write them. Yeah. So I was like, maybe you got it wrong. Anyway, I don't know. So I stayed there. She comes back, and she comes with the attitude. The thing that I hate is don't give me the attitude.
I know how you got sacked.
Don't give me the attitude. So
it's all coming together.
So she comes to me and she's like, you know what? Don't show up tomorrow. We don't need you. I was like, I'm sorry, why? And she was like, well, because you didn't work, and yeah, that's it.
Where is she getting this story from, though? If you had receipts?
I had no clue. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I might as well. I'm fired. I was like, well. So I told her, like, look, you put me as a marketing assistant when, honestly, you put the role out and we signed a contract. I was like, I could sue you for that. But anyway, I was like, you literally put me as a marketing assistant when the role was promotional modeling. I'm still doing it, and I still did the job despite everybody was not. And you're firing me? And she was like, honey.
Oh.
She was like, honey, why do you think I put you at the back? It's because you're too short. Do you think you could model? You will never model. You see those runway models over there? You will never be that. No. So please. Anyway, you can leave. I was like, watch me. I didn't want to make a scene, so I left. Went home, texted a whole paragraph on Facebook. I was like, guys, this thing happened to me, to all you models out there, guys. Be careful of this thing. I received a list of people. Be like, actually, that happened to me as well. They didn't pay me, blah, 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 blah. I was like, funny enough. I was like, okay, call it karma. A week later, I get called for London Fashion Week without even needing to casting. I did London Fashion Week 5-5 without representation, without anything. I sent her the pictures. I was like, bitch, look now. Like, you see?
Oh my God, not Mary Grace coming through with receipts.
Oh, yeah, I always come with receipts.
You're
I
gonna
always
follow
come
me.
with receipts. I was like, too short? What about now?
I can't believe that.
But I have, you see, this is how you learn.
Mm.
This is how you get into that mindset.
It's
You
just,
need-
we spoke about this before, like when an opportunity shuts down,
Oh,
another
always,
one
always.
another one
Opens
pops
always,
up.
always.
And there's a reason for that. Like
Always.
your energy is being shifted from one place to another.
It's just either not yet or I have
Yeah,
better
yeah,
for
yeah.
you. It's
Yeah.
always one of the two.
Karma, exactly. And if you just think of it as, like you said actually, like a door closing is another
Yeah.
door opening.
It's
basically.
true. Once you get into that
Always.
mindset, you think swift.
When you
Completely.
shift that as well, yeah, like if something doesn't work out in your favor, okay, it wasn't meant for me. Something else is going to come around so
Always.
very quick.
Always like that.
You will shift dramatically.
Absolutely.
Um,
Obviously, in the
so-
moment, it feels shit.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But-
There's
But if
no
you
denying
learn-
that
No
you are
denying.
butthurt
Yeah,
when
yeah,
something
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
go your way,
Yeah.
of course.
But then, if you just kind of readdress your energy
Yeah.
to somewhere else, you'll be absolutely fine.
If you
And-
learn how to let it go, it's
Yeah. And
You
the
win.
same with like castings and stuff. Like
exactly.
you're not going to get every single casting. In fact,
Oh,
you're
no.
probably going to get like 2% of your casting
Yeah,
you go
For
for.
sure.
But as long as you see that as like what you said, it's like waking up and doing a self tape.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Go for it.
cool. Like great. I'm modeling.
Like
Yeah.
that's your job. I really love as well. I don't think we gave it enough credit. This waiter analogy that you had, that's incredible.
Mm.
Like you go to a table, you do the job, you put the drink on the table, you do the self tape.
Mhm.
You may not get a tip, you may get the tip,
Mhm.
but that's just all part of the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of models actually they say something to me that really infuriates me, which is
You said that with such a calm tone as well, which is
they
when
say a
you
lot of
know.
things. They say a lot of things that infuriate
I
me.
know.
But this one thing really pisses me off because it's negative for them. And then what they say is, "Oh, I'm not a model yet. I haven't done a paid job." That's not what a model is. Like a model is everything. It's waking up, it's doing self tapes, going to castings. Like that is being a model.
Yeah.
It's not just when you do a job for Nike. Like,
Absolutely.
we said
No.
third
It's
time
all the
said that.
rest, literally.
It's all the rest.
It's all the
Everything
rest.
else.
Are you
You're
going to
gonna
the
be
gym? Are you
doing-
giving yourself out there? Are you keeping your
Yes.
measurements?
Yes.
Are you updating your Polaroids?
Yes.
Are you putting yourself out there? Are you networking?
Yes.
Are you going out and meeting people?
Absolutely. Like every back to a business analogy. Like if
Yeah.
you're a shop, it's not just about selling to customers.
Oh,
You just
no.
stack the shelves, you have to clean the floors, you have to open the shop. You have
It's
to
the
put lights
attitude.
on.
You need to make sure,
Yeah.
like
Attitude,
everything.
yes, smiling, employing staff. Like there's so
Exactly.
much that goes into the final result of selling
Exactly.
that can of Coke again. So
I
yeah,
agree.
I think just people just people just to change their mindset of what they assume they are, if
Agree.
that makes sense. And it's not like, oh, I'm in Vogue, I'm a model. Like Vogue doesn't pay anything. Like
No.
At all.
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
if
mean
you're in Vogue.
anything.
And we do Fashion Week. It's
Oh,
one
cool.
show or
Who
2
cares?
shows per year. What about the rest of the year?
What about the rest?
What
Yeah,
about your
exactly.
self tapes? What about your Polaroids? What about going to the gym? What about not going to the gym? What
It's
about
because
You
it's
eating
not as
healthy, keeping
glamorous.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because it's not as put in the spotlight.
Mm.
Vogue is a huge thing. London Fashion Week
It
is
is.
a huge
They
thing,
are
and,
huge
it, and
things,
it overshadows all the rest of it,
Mhm.
which is why these things get forgotten and don't get
Absolutely.
given the justice and the
I
due
agree.
course, because they essentially build the foundation
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
what's going to make your career.
Mhm.
But it's not as shiny,
No, it's not.
and it's not on the forefront
Mhm.
of
I
what
agree.
the rewards are.
Mhm.
But things are changing anyway. Like next year when there's gonna be VR, there will be literally AI models. I keep saying people don't believe me. Watch me. Tell me again in 2 years. Call me and say, Mary Grace, actually you have a point.
Yeah.
We're gonna all be selling users' rights.
Yeah.
There's still gonna be a few modeling jobs, but things will change.
Yes.
So
So how do you feel about that as a model? Because we've spoken about AI quite a bit on this platform especially, and how, at first when AI first came into sort of the conversation, we were a little bit cautious, a little bit scared for our jobs, but then we had a conversation with John, I think it was, wasn't it? And we spoke about how, you've got to use AI to your advantage. Is that something that you're starting to think about?
So funny enough, I recently launched Mary Grace AI. It's like ChatGPT Mary Grace.
Okay, talk us through that. Of course you did. I'm not even surprised that this is something
She
that
is
you've
AI.
done. And she is. Mary Grace isn't actually in the room with us right now.
Okay, that would be amazing. If I could clone myself, I cannot
Me
wait
too.
for the day.
Me too.
I
Me
cannot
too.
wait.
Me too. I'd love
But
that.
yeah, so basically, so this is how I see it on the AI definition. I believe that AI is taking over already. It has been taking over before. It's like social media. Oh my God, social media! What are we gonna do? Everybody's gonna be on the phone. how many jobs got created out of that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's different topics for everybody, because I talk about it with my content creator friends. We're like, everybody now is content creator. How is it going to be like when there's going to be AI? How are you going to create content? And that is going to develop more opportunities. Obviously, that's also why there were strikes in LA as well for acting. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I don't know if you watched Black Mirror.
Yes. Oh.
Did you watch the last? Did you watch the last episode? That's how it's gonna be in Netflix.
Yes.
People are gonna be selling usage rights for CGI and whatever else is gonna come out with AI. And as a model, I think there's still gonna be a few jobs, but I believe you're gonna be in a studio with. I did an extra. I was extra in Heart of Stone movie. And I remember, and that's how I learned how it worked from the behind the scenes as well. And I was in this cylinder full of cameras.
Yeah,
they take every single detail of you. It's like, I don't know, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, like flash of lights of cameras, taking like every possible angle of your body, like in pictures, so that then they can replicate that in the movie in anywhere you are. So this is how it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you said, like social media was scary when it first came out. Everything's scary.
Everything's scary.
It's the unknown.
It's
you
the
don't know
unknown.
how it's going to navigate your life.
You need to
I'm
leave.
excited. I can't wait. To be honest, I can't wait. I can't
Mary
wait
Grace
for
is ready
VR.
for a nap.
I am ready. Yeah, I'm just gonna be in bed the whole day with VR. I'll see you all from there. I can't wait. I'm waiting for January 2024 for Apple to release it. And I'm like, here I am. Take my credit card.
Yeah, you just need to lean into it. If anything, stop leaning away from it. Lean into it.
Actually, think about how you're gonna use it later.
Exploit it. Yeah, like you can use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Like don't be going like, oh, this is so scary. I don't want to do it.
Absolutely.
Like it's gonna happen.
It's happening.
It's happening
It's
already.
happening. Yeah, it's happening. Like jump on board before you get left on the shore, left on the beach, and the ship's left. Yeah. So if you get ahead of the curve, then like you have, you've got your own AI.
Yeah.
What does your own AI do?
Basically, you ask. I kept it like quite educational because I developed it with a company based in Miami, and I told them like I'm not gonna have any virtual girlfriend kind of thing. So I was like, unless we are doing like a purposely educational. So whoever, because I received many texts on like how can I become a model? What can I do for this? What can I do for that? And I did a masterclass last year, which when sold out was amazing, but it was so much work. And I was like, I love that because I did it one-to-one. I didn't want to just sell a course and you watch it. I think it doesn't make any sense. Go on YouTube and watch it. I was like, I would rather like give feedback to people where I can see them. Be like, if I were you, I will change this. I will put this there. And it went well, but again, it was too much work. So I said, what can I do to, help people, but I don't have to do the work. Because that's how an entrepreneur works. Like, that's what an entrepreneur is. Yeah. It doesn't do the work for you. Otherwise, you're self-employed. You're not an entrepreneur. So, and again, all the things that I learned through experience. So I said, well, I always receive these messages and I want to help out. And I keep repeating it, but not everybody, watches YouTube. Not everybody watches my Reels or whatever. So I created Mary Grace AI.
So people can go onto this AI platform and ask you questions.
Talks from,
Talk to you.
Yeah. I mean, I can see all the chats. Like I have the beta, but...
Do you edit the text before it gets sent out, or do you just trust it? And
no, I trained it. I trained the AI. I should have trained it more, to be honest. But yeah, I trained it. I'm still like making it better because I told them I would like, they're adding a feature in the next few months where people can send pictures. Obviously they're regulated and everything, but I said, if a model comes and it's like, I took these Polaroids, for example, and the AI wants to give it advice, how are we going to do that? So I'm working to develop it even better. Yeah. But at the moment it's just chat, so they hear my voice and they hear my response.
Voice as well?
Yeah, I replicate my voice.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I have the American accent, but still, we're working.
You listen to that business guy. You're like, you want an American accent? Fine.
Here you go. Yeah.
Wow.
What's the most common question you're asked in terms of modeling?
I'm short, how can I model? How can I do it like you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then questions about, how can I submit to agencies or all these kind of questions.
And the advice you give to them is, without giving away your trade secrets?
Oh, no, I mean, I say what I do. I say what I do, 100%. How to become a model if you're short? Market yourself. That's what I say. Sell yourself. Be the product.
Yeah.
Why would I buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you offering to the table?
Yeah.
So whenever, for example, I have, I don't know, there is a brand that I want to work for, I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, why would I hire her? What does she have special? Because she's pretty. There are so many pretty girls.
So what you're saying essentially is, okay, you're short.
But there's no limit.
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
limit. So you're short, deal with it.
Deal with it, yeah. Make it your
You
strength.
can't make yourself taller.
Make a movement.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. So you're saying be strong.
Well, that you could, you know?
Get over it.
That would be nice, actually, for lady, you know? Guys, actually, on that note, we could talk about it. But, yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay.
yeah. Definitely
And that would
market
be
yourself. That's
your
the best.
advice for anyone, not just being short.
No. Generally, whoever wants to be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
model, market yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, if, for example, even if you don't even need to have followers, but you have a strong portfolio, you're requested by many people, designer, everybody knows everybody in this
Mhm.
industry. This is what I keep saying, especially in London. You never know who you might meet. So always have a nice attitude, be humble, and do what you have to do. But everybody knows everybody in this industry. London Fashion Week is always the same people.
Yeah.
It's like out of 10, there might be one that's different, that maybe decide to come from New York. The rest is always the same
Yes,
people.
every year.
Every year.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're good, nice attitude, you're good at what you do, you put up yourself well, it's super, like it takes like 3 seconds to be like, oh, actually, oh yeah, you see that girl that's wearing that? She's such a good model.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Well, let me talk to her. Let me see how she is. Because actually I have a friend who has a brand who's
Mhm.
looking for models. That's how you get a job.
Yeah.
And maybe you get posted on that website for that brand. Somebody else says it and they're like, oh, who's the girl? I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Does she have an agent? Well, what does she do?
Yeah. Yeah.
So market yourself.
Market yourself. That if you, Kez, if you went into Starbucks
Yeah.
and they put a frog in your coffee,
Yeah.
you wouldn't go back, surely.
I wouldn't go back
You wouldn't go back to
to
Starbucks,
Starbucks.
right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like I wouldn't go back to get the frog out of my cup.
I hope you would.
I feel like I should.
Oh, you're gonna end up in the hospital. You know? They just say
This is a new flavour. I'm not quite ready to try it.
But yeah, you,
I would not go back
you
to
would not go
Starbucks.
back. So
Correct.
it's the same. Again, it's a business thing. It's like
It
business.
is. It's
if you
business.
if a person comes into your shop and you're nice to them, they're probably going to come back into your shop. If you're rude to them, they're not going to come back into your shop.
yeah, and the word
Something.
spreads around real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So then the chances of you, maybe you didn't do anything wrong, sure, you can prove yourself
Mhm.
after. But if out of like 5 people, 3 of them meet you and you're rude to them, that's it. The next people they're gonna talk to, oh no, don't talk to her, you know, because I did that.
Everyone talks.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
talks. This
Yeah.
is it's sad, but that's how it works.
Mhm.
This is
It
the industry.
is.
Also, it's karma as well.
Yeah.
Like,
It's-
honestly,
Exactly.
Karmic value.
it's
in
bad
how you
energy.
talk
You're
to
spreading
people.
bad energy around.
Bad
Exactly.
energy. is
The energy
not.
that you give comes back.
Absolutely, it
Exactly.
does.
So-
Exactly. Totally.
My gosh.
Totally believe in that.
Me too.
Kez,
So, yes.
do you have a question? A last question?
Last question. I do. I don't know if it's constructive to this episode. I'm just curious.
Tell me.
If you weren't to be modelling right
Mhm.
now, if that wasn't to be your job, what would you be doing?
That's a question I actually get asked a lot.
Do you get asked it a
Funny
lot?
enough.
Oh.
Yes. Whatever I liked.
What would that be to you right now? If you weren't to be modelling, what would you be doing to fill your time, to make your money?
If I wasn't modeling,
Mm-hmm.
open a company. If I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, everything that I do,
Marcus is like,
everything that I do it because I like it. So if
Yeah.
tomorrow I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I'm so fed up of acting and business and modeling. I want to clean the streets. I'm going to start cleaning the streets as
Okay.
long as I wake up happy. Because at the end of the day, we talk about, you know, big things, big goals, whatever, but you need to do what you like. Because if you book like all the jobs and then you go to bed and you're miserable, like fame does not mean success. Booking all the runways jobs, doesn't mean success.
Mm-hmm.
If you then go home and you cry about it, that's not for you. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with it. So yeah, I don't know, whatever I like, yeah. I like business, so maybe something into business, but I don't know. As for example, I liked to create content and then it turned into a full-time job. So I put all the things together. I was like, wow, we're
There you
here.
have it.
We might as well dance. You know?
Incredible.
And you said you're a business, so what's your
Social media agency, Tropiano Media, business to business only.
what's your goal?
I want to expand it and then eventually make it into a production company and then sell it.
And then sell it.
Yes.
Incredible. How's it going? It's still early doors, no?
Oh yeah, actually I started it last year, but I didn't release it until May this year.
Okay.
Because I had already a few clients. I work with people in real estate. That's how it started.
Okay.
I'm the owner of a real estate company, and I got asked a lot after modeling for social media services. Like, oh, can you manage my social media brand and whatever? But I was like, I don't really do that. And I was still attending uni. I was in my last year of uni. I said, it's not something I'm really interested in. I've always wanted to open a company at some point, but the company that I wanted to open required a physical product, and I'm not planning to be in that yet, in that space. And so I was like, well, I don't know, let me see. And then I met this owner, which was like, would you like to do a partnership? So whenever we sell the house, we give you a fee of the sale, the total sales. I was like, sure. So I did that. And then because of word of mouth, again, London is small. It seems really big, but it's not. I started to get people reaching out. And then, yeah, here we are.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Marcus?
Sorry. Go on.
No, go on. You were going to come on.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was going to say you're a force of nature.
You are a force of nature,
Yeah,
truly. Like, I was not expecting the conversation to take as many turns as it did today. You are honestly so inspiring.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of
We
course.
try, We try.
We try. We move. We
We
move.
move.
We move.
Last question from yourself, Marcus?
I haven't got any more questions. I'm all out of questions.
You're all out of questions?
I'm all out of questions.
Mary Grace, any final words?
Any final words? Good question. Any final words? Let me see. Okay. I will say, make sure if you want to get into the modeling industry, because we're talking about modeling industry, don't worry about confidence. Confidence comes throughout time once you get experience, because you prove to your mind and to your body that you can do it. Make sure that you love yourself enough, because the industry has a lot of rejection and you cannot take things personally. So that's probably my biggest thing. And if you don't have that, don't come in until you do.
I think that's some cracking final words.
Yeah, that is
solid advice.
Would
Thank
you agree?
so much. I totally agree. I also think the main thing that you said, and if people can apply this properly, is you're a business.
Exactly.
That's the most important thing. You're a business. You're not some person who's walking around and just getting booked for jobs. You are a business. Think of yourself as a business. So everything you do, read about business.
Exactly.
Watch a YouTube video for 5 minutes about business.
Yeah.
You will learn so much.
I read 2 books a month. Please, guys. Read. You don't buy courses. There's no need. Read. Go to the library. Read. Learn.
Yeah.
That's
and learn
it.
from your mistakes as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
That helps a lot.
But yeah, you've been absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you
so
for
much
having me.
coming. No, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today.
Likewise.
And for the listeners and for the viewers, what is your socials?
Mary Grace Tropiano.
There you have it.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Do you want to? We'll put it in there. We'll put it in your in the
Yes,
bio
please.
anyway. So
Of
yeah.
course.
Kez, any final thoughts from you?
Any final thoughts? No, just I've absolutely loved this chat. I think it's been so insightful, not only to myself, but to everyone that's listening. I think it's a great spin on how to build yourself, not only as a model, but a brand.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Toodaloo!
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Round of applause. We've never ended
We've never done
an
an applause.
episode with a
They
round.
deserve
We
one.
should do
They
that.
deserve
We
an
should do
applause.
that.